WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Law enforcement and family members are still searching for a missing Columbus man tonight. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigation issued a silver alert for 25-year-old Christopher Jamal Reed. Investigator Andy Hood says Chris was last seen near 18th Avenue North. Reed was wearing black sweatpants and a gray Old Navy pullover and white tennis shoes. He is 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 120 pounds. Family members say he does not drive and doesn't wander far from his home. He also knows not to talk or ride with strangers.
After I got all worked around about 4:30, and I came in, I always said, Chris, I'm home. And then I didn't hear that. Then I looked through the house, and he was there.
I want them to know that we looking for Chris and we want him to come home safely.
Loved ones also say Chris is very shy. Police believe he is still in the area. The silver alert for Chris Reed is the second one issued in Columbus in the last 5 days. Right now, people are preparing a search party for Reed. Our Jory Talley is live at the staging area with more on what goes into calling for a silver alert. Jory.
Silver alerts can be issued for anybody and are usually issued when someone is supposed to be at a certain location but aren't there. That's exactly the situation surrounding 25-year-old Christopher Reed. It's been almost 24 hours since a silver alert was issued for Reed. And as you can see behind me, concerns are growing as the community is coming out to help with search efforts.
A silver alert, it goes nationwide. It goes more than just where the news outlets are reach. It gets all over the whole region, just like an Amber Alert would.
A lot of work goes into issuing a silver alert.
We gathered all the information there and sent it in to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, and they issued it out to the news media and to their resources.
Once law enforcement get to a certain point in their investigation and have had no luck, that's when the process starts.
You just use it when you just about to utilize your resources in a small community to find people. So you want to put it out there on social media or contact the news media to try to get as much help you can.
Investigators say many people believe silver alerts are only issued for the elderly, but that's not the case. They can be issued for anybody who is missing and can't be found, or supposed to be at a certain location but isn't there.
They just begin to be concerned, saying, no, it's just unusual. It's very unusual that he or she is missing and been gone this long, and so it's kind of aroused suspicions and alert for us to try to find this person.
The goal of a silver alert is to track the person down as fast as possible, especially when the person's health or safety is involved.
People that got medical conditions, small kids, mentally ill, you want to try to track these people down as fast as possible. Special medical need, you can have a person that's diabetic, need insulin right then and there.
A silver alert is canceled once that missing person is found. Now, we're less than 30 minutes away from tonight's search efforts from kicking off. We're going to have more on tonight's search coming up on WCBI News at 9 and 10. But for now, reporting live in Columbus, Jory Talley, WCBI News.
A Noxubee County shooting victim continues to recover in a Jackson hospital tonight. Sheriff Terry Grassery says Eric Gutley was shot in the back at Airport Store in the Cedar Creek community about 7 o'clock last night. When investigators arrived to the scene, they found the victim lying on his back. Deputies arrested Don Brown a short time later.
They were told us the altercation broke out. That's when everything started happening, and that the shooter had headed back south toward his mother's residence. So we, at that time, caught up with the mother, and she was instrumental in helping us get him, like any good mother would be.
Brown is charged with aggravated assault. Pontotoc County and state law enforcement are investigating an apparent shooting. Mississippi Bureau of Investigation spokesman Warren Strain confirms the agency has investigators in the crime scene unit. Earlier today near the intersection of Highways 278 and 15, he declined to confirm the nature of the incident. The injured person is alive. WCBI is being told this investigation started after a report of a crash. We hope to learn more maybe tomorrow about this developing story. Time now to turn our attention over to weather. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson joins us with a first look at your forecast. Keith?
Joey, some pretty nice weather out there today. A lot of sunshine overall. Temperatures right now still quite comfortable at this hour, into the 40s to around 50 degrees. Remember, a week ago right now, we had temperatures that were just plummeting with that Arctic air coming on in. So we'll take these 40s and to around 50-degree temperatures at this point in time. Just a few scattered clouds coming on in from the southwest, and we've had some low clouds out there as well. So fairly quiet here for this evening. Full forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Keith. The City of Columbus and the Convention and Visitors Bureau are no closer to an agreement. Columbus asked for $12,500 for festivals instead of $10,000. The CVB countered with another offer. WCBI's Parker King tries to explain the history, the negotiations, and what could happen if no agreement is reached.
For the last 2 months, we've been reporting on the progress of the renewal of the 2% restaurant tax in Lowndes County. During that 2 months, there may be some questions and a little bit of gray area, but I'm going to try in a summary answer some of those questions and add some clarity. So let's start at the beginning. In 2008 was when Lowndes County and the City of Columbus agreed on a 2% restaurant tax. Now that meant 2% from the proceeds of these restaurants went towards the CVB. Started out pretty well in 2008, $1.3 million. And as the years went on, it was a 10-year deal. 2017, we're looking at a bit shy of $2 million. The way that was distributed was that the Golden Triangle Link received 15% of those proceeds. The Columbus and Lowndes Visitors and Conventions Bureau received the rest. Now, the key factor is that the ceiling is $300,000. People ask, what is a ceiling? To numb it down, the ceiling is a requirement, a minimum, meaning that restaurants that were involved in this 2% restaurant tax had to sell at least $300,000 in total proceeds. So again, this is the 10-year deadline. So we're in November. We're trying to renew this. The new deal is that the link will receive $250,000 guaranteed instead of 15%. The CVB receives the rest. This is the first renewed proposal. I say first because enter the City of Columbus. They want a piece of this pie. They've seen how much it's grown in the last 10 years. So I'm just going to draw in the City of Columbus inside this pie to mark how much they wanted. The Board of Supervisors passed it 3-2 in favor of the first proposal. That's important because a divided decision sent to Jackson will not pass. It's not a written law, but the practicality is that Jackson does not deal with local disputes. Now we're in a period of negotiations. The city last week at their council meeting wanted $300,000 for Parks and Rec to help renovate the baseball fields at Probst Park and $50,000 for the amphitheater. The county agreed. But, surprise, surprise, yesterday at the CVB's meeting, the city decided that instead of $10,000 for special events and festivals, they want $12,050. Only a $2,500 increase, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but it caught them off guard. So they're willing to work with the $2,500 increase, but they want a little bit of a renegotiation themselves. They want 1/3 of a grass lot at the beginning of Main Street that used to house the old Gilmer Inn for outdoor classroom and activity space for the new Children's Museum. This puts a kink in things because the city wants that lot for a hotel behind the Trotter Convention Center. So where are we right now? Currently, there's no agreement. There's no compromise being made right now. The mayor's office is currently trying to come up with a statement to respond to this renegotiation. Worst case scenario, we have time. We have until March 9th through March 16th before a written deal can be sent down to Jackson in the form of a bill. Worst case scenario, if no deal is met, we lose $2 million to a potential $3.5 million. You want to know why? Because the floor, the ceiling, is now zero. That means every restaurant ranging from McDonald's to Huck's is included in this 2% restaurant tax, not making $300,000. You can make zero. So we could potentially lose $3.5 million, and the CVB could cease to exist. So if no compromise is made, Columbus and Lowndes County are looking at the loss of a lot of money and the disappearance of a major advertising unit.
A pretty complicated story to try and explain, but multiple attempts to reach the mayor for comment today were unsuccessful. Well, good food and a good cause are on the menu tonight in Tupelo. We check in live on the special event when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Some Tupelo notables are dusting off their waiting skills to help out for a good cause tonight. Our Allie Martin is one of them. He's taking a short break from waiting tables at Mugshots in Tupelo to fill us in on the event. Allie?
Got 4 minutes left on the camera.
All right, we are here at Mugshots. It is Make-A-Wish Celebrity Wait Night. Folks, I am one of the many waiters. I have Sam Ferris here. He is another Make-A-Wish celebrity waiter and a former Make-A-Wish recipient. Sam, tell us, why is it important for folks to come out tonight until 9 o'clock?
Well, that's a great question, Allie. I mean, we're out here raising money to grant wishes, but it's not just wishes being granted. These kids that need these wishes are very sick. And at times, like for me, for instance, it was a turning point in my treatment. These wishes are saving lives. So we're not just making dreams and wishes come true for sick kids. We're saving lives at the end of the day. So it is immensely important that everybody come out and donate.
Absolutely. You got a baseball field in your backyard for your wish, and it's still there. You're still using it. So wishes, a lot of times, are the gift that keeps on giving.
That's right. I thought I was out of my mind. It's been 11 years ago. And you know what? I wished for it. I was, shooting for the moon, landed among the stars, and in 3 days' time, there was a baseball field in my backyard. It's still there today. That's all thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I'm out here with you trying to give back to them.
How cool is that? So y'all can come out until 9 o'clock. All the tips and 10% of sales tonight go to Make-A-Wish. We're out here at Mugshots. We're going to send it back to you in the studio.
It looks like a fun time. Well, more than 35 students compete to become Lowndes County's top speller. Students from public and private schools were on the MUW campus this morning for the competition. Chloe Barr won the spelling bee. The 7th grader from Heritage Academy will represent Lowndes County in the state spelling bee. This will be her second time to be the county's contestant in the competition.
Heading out tonight, well, jackets needed, but fairly quiet overall. Some 40s and 30s, lows into the upper 20s to around 30 degrees tonight. So not too bad about where we should be for this time of year. Your full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Hopefully you had a great day. Tons of sunshine out there on our Tuesday. Some high cirrus clouds coming on in from the southwest. That's our up-entrance time lapse from downtown Columbus looking down to the south. Some upper level moisture here. Some of those will drift down through the region as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours. Up to the north, we've had some low clouds in southwest Tennessee, northern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Those clouds are actually moving from west to east, and those will linger a little bit here across the northern tier. But overall, fairly quiet and benign conditions tonight. We've got mid-40s to low 50s across our region, a little bit cooler up there in Memphis. Upper 20s to around 30, mainly clear. Again, some high wispy cirrus clouds, and those low-level clouds across the north will go away later tonight. Here's our Wednesday planner, 34, sunny at 8 o'clock in the morning. Noon, 50 and sunny, winds from the northwest about 5 to 15 tomorrow, so not as strong as what we had today. 54 degrees, our forecast high around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Maybe 55 in Louisville, 56 Macon, 55 in Starkville, 53 for you in Tupelo. A little bit cooler up here in Corinth and Iuka again in the lower 50s, but a lot of sunshine overall. Those low clouds lifting back to the northeast, and those high clouds will likely drift off to the southeast. So let's just call it sunny for our Wednesday with widespread 50s across the Twin States. Now the air right now is very dry. That deep tropical moisture down here in Florida and right along the eastern seaboard. So dry air in the near term. That will change around as we close out the work week and get into the weekend. Moisture comes on back with southerly flow that will develop later this week, and that means more cloud cover here. Notice as we get into the end of the work week Friday. We'll see some more clouds fill in late, but the rain chances come back here as we get into your Saturday and Sunday. Now, there could be a big blob of showers and storms to our south on Saturday. That could rob some moisture that we'll try to get up here during the weekend, so we'll just see how that evolves. But at this point, we are advertising a chance for showers Saturday and Sunday. Dry through Friday, dry after the weekend, and guess what? There is the weekend. Rain chances Saturday and Sunday. So not a complete disaster for us, but some wet weather nonetheless. We'll get through it, right? High pressure coming on through for the next couple of days, but as I mentioned, we are on the backside of high pressure later this week. Southerly winds, more moisture, and those rain chances go on up. But pretty nice for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 50s to around 60 Thursday, probably more in the way of low 60s on Friday. We'll get through those showers this weekend, Joey, and then more sunshine and more 50s next week.
All right, thanks, Keith. Coming up, we preview tonight's action in SEC hoops, plus a look into the preseason of college baseball polls. That's next in sports.
CBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
It's a big night of hoops in the SEC. Both Mississippi State and Ole Miss could use victories to get back in the top half of the race in the league. Both have big-time tests in prime time tonight. We already have two games that have tipped off. Arkansas, Georgia, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Bulldogs lead by 5 at the half. Tennessee has an early lead on Vanderbilt. You can watch those games on SEC Network or ESPNU. A&M LSU will be at 8 along with Mississippi State, Kentucky, and then don't forget about Alabama, Ole Miss, 7:30 p.m. That's one that both teams could definitely use. Ole Miss could really use that win at home. Alabama could use a road victory for their resume. So plenty to play for tonight in the Southeastern Conference. We'll recap it all coming up tonight at 10. To baseball, and before you know it, we will be on the road to Omaha. College baseball practice officially begins Friday around the country, and preseason polls have continued to trickle out. We know about the sound here in the Magnolia State on the diamond going into this season, and that's been recognized in the newest preseason college baseball poll, as it's Ole Miss, that's the higher-ranked team from Mississippi in the Baseball America Top 25. The Rebels were placed at 16 in the poll. 8 SEC teams ranked in that Top 25. The Rebels return a strong core on the lineup card, and especially on the mound. You have Ryan Rollison and Dallas Woolfolk, both named D1 Baseball preseason All-Americans. Say there's Rollison. He's the number 2 rated college prospect in the country, according to D1. Rebels will begin the 2018 season opening the series at home against Winthrop. For Mississippi State, the Bulldogs are at 23 in the Baseball America preseason top 25. The Bulldogs are ranked in the top 25 in all 4 major preseason college baseball polls. MSU also placed pitcher Connor Pilkington and Do Everything senior Jake Mangum on the preseason All-American list by D1 Baseball. MSU will begin the season on the road with their first 3 series away from Starkville. Dudy Noble Field still finishes this construction on the new Dude. We'll hear from the Diamond Dogs tomorrow here on WCBI Sports as they prep for the first day of practice coming up on Friday. So let's run through where each MSU and Ole Miss, where they're ranked in the preseason, in all these preseason top 25 publications. Now, there's also a preseason coaches poll, which that will be the sort of baseline poll that you'll mainly see the rankings on when you watch the SEC Network or ESPN. But usually D1 Baseball sort of has their finger on the pulse, and they're usually pretty good on the rankings. They have MSU at 12. MSU is also 13 in collegiate baseball, 23 in Baseball America, as we mentioned, and 25 in Perfect Game. For Ole Miss, 9 in D1 baseball. They're 38th in collegiate baseball, which is, I don't understand that one, but that's where they are. Baseball America has them at 16 and Perfect Game at 11. So some publications seeing the potential that Ole Miss has, maybe others, maybe not, but we'll still wait and see on that preseason coaches poll, which will be out soon. And then here's that full Baseball America preseason top 25. You see Florida, your defending champs, are at 1. Arkansas is getting a lot of hype. The Razorbacks are at 4. Kentucky at 8. Texas A&M at 10. You see LSU at 17. Vandy at 18. And then 2 other schools we want to mention. Southern Miss at 21. You know MSU starting the season in Hattiesburg, February 16th through the 18th. They'll be at the Pete for that opening series. And then South Alabama, as you know, former New Hope Trojan Wells Davis will be starting at first for the Jaguars. They return a really solid lineup and a really good team next year, or this upcoming season, I should say. So college baseball here between Mississippi and Alabama is going to be really, really strong between our top D1 teams this year. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will be. It will be. And as always, the SEC, tough as it gets in the country.
8 teams in that top 25 from Baseball America. 8 in the top 16 from D1 baseball. So
Wow.
that should tell you everything. It's going to be loaded and pretty tough this year.
All right. Thanks, Robbie. We'll be right back.
Pretty nice weather here as we go throughout the next few days. 50s tomorrow, probably Thursday too, low 60s Friday. A lot of sunshine here as we close out the work week. Cool nights, but not too bad. No single digits there. That's good news.
Thank goodness.
I know, right?
Oh.
All right, for the weekend, some shower chances here Saturday and Sunday. Don't cancel your, well, actually, be on standby, but it's not looking like it's going to be a complete total washout, but there will be showers around.
On Saturday.
Definitely.
All right. We'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
Thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a great night.